So the first thing we want to do is remove all of the labels, because you don't want the labels to show through any designs that we end up putting on the bottles. So you see how they're pretty hard to remove just by trying to peel them off. So the steps that we're going to take is we're going to put a pot of water on to boil. Now you don't want it to do a rolling boil. You just kind of want it to begin getting the bubbles like you see here. Just hot enough to where it's too hot to touch, where it's hotter than out of the faucet would be. So then you'll just take your funnel, pour your steaming hot water in to where it covers the tops of where the labels are, and then you want to leave it for a couple of minutes. Now, this process should melt the labels off because it will loosen up the glue from the inside out, but for me, it didn't fully melt the glue. So what you'll see in a little bit later of a clip is I'll have to go back and use our acetone method, where you soak the label with the acetone, and that will go ahead and remove the rest of the residue from the labels. Okay, so here you see me using the acetone, just wetting a cotton ball. I forgot what it was called. Wetting a cotton ball and then just rubbing the acetone all over the remaining part of the label. And as you will see, it also took off my nail polish. So if you just got your nails done or just painted your nails like I had, I would suggest putting on some gloves. But you just keep rubbing the acetone over the label until you get it completely soaked. Once it is completely soaked, then you should be able to just take your nail and scratch it off. Or I guess if you had like a X-Acto knife or anything like that, you could scrape the label off that way as well. So here I am just going ahead scraping off the label. Once it's thoroughly soaked, the label actually comes off relatively easy. So now to decorate these glasses, now that we've got them all cleaned, you just want to take your Mardi Gras beads and cut them so that now they are a string of beads instead of being a necklace. And you're going to really just glue them onto the bottle. I, on this bottle, decided to glue it into a circular round spiral all the way up to the top. So when you're using your hot glue, you want to work quickly because the hot glue does dry, and you want to just work in small sections, applying a little bit of the hot glue, then attaching your beads to the hot glue. Be really careful because again, it is hot glue, so you don't want to burn your fingers as least as possible. So just keep working in sections until you get to the top of the bottle. And here's the bottle completely done, all of the beads applied. You can see some of the glue with it being up close, but that's not an issue from far away. Now with our second bottle, we want to do a different design with the beads. You're going to still cut them so they turn into a string of beads instead of a necklace. And then with these, I am actually gluing them up and across and then back down the bottle, so that way it goes kind of up and over, and you'll see in the next clip how it'll look once you go ahead and finish gluing them around the bottle. So now that the first side is done, I'm going to repeat the gluing process with the colors interchanging, green, purple, so forth, so on. And this one, I wanted it to be Mardi Gras themed, and so that's why I went ahead and used these colors. Now for our last bottle. This one I wanted to try something a little bit different, so I'm only gluing the beads on the bottom half of the bottle, and then with the top half of the bottle, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape over the beads so that the chalkboard paint doesn't color the beads, and then I'm going to take it outside and spray paint the top part of the glass with this black charcoal, this black chalkboard paint. I cannot talk today, y'all. So you just want to put on even coats. You spray it back and forth with the coats overlapping, and you can spray it multiple times, but just make sure that you let it dry in between each coat of spray paint. And you can see it's already starting to dry, and you can see it turning kind of into that chalkboard material.